Welcome back to Social Media Journalism. This is Robert Quigley, the professor, and this lesson is probably going to be super useful to you. It's all about aggregating news, which is what this class is all about, because we aren't producing a whole lot of original content. Most of it is stuff we're just finding out there and then sharing. So I'm going to give you some tips on how to find that good information. So I would start with finding stories that are just interesting to you. After all, you are the target demographic. We're looking for college students in Austin. And so find a good story, share it, see what happens, and if it takes off, we'll run with it. Start using that topic more often. Conversely, it could be just you, but if it's just you, that's okay. It's all right to fail a little bit. We're just experimenting here. Just adjust course as you're going, and pick from a variety of sources. I know that USA Today College and Huffington Post College are both kind of built for the same audience, so it's easy to just pull from those kinds of sources all the time. But the more variety you pull and the more interesting our feed is going to be and the more likely people are going to want to follow our content. This is the beauty of aggregation, is we can pull from anywhere. So there's lots of information on the web. It's a big, big thing, this whole internet. So you want to organize what you're doing. So once you look for that good, trusted, interesting source, you need to put it in some kind of format where you could go back to it again. Definitely consume a lot of information on the web and on mobile phones and expand using your social networks. We should curate good sources of content via Twitter lists, Facebook lists, Pinterest following, Tumblr dashboards. That's how you're organizing things, is by creating these lists and by making sure that we're following them on our accounts. And then you could use Google Alerts. And if you've never used a Google Alert before, this is magical. You should really give it a try. Just go to google.com/alerts and set up an alert for a topic or a thing that's interesting to you or your own name to see if you ever get mentioned. And Google will send you customized emails right to your inbox. This is what the Google Alerts look like. Just type in a search query, tell them what kind of results you want, what language you want them in, what region they're coming from, how often you want the alerts. It's very customizable, and it's very useful for this class. And so if you want to type in college students or universities or something like that, it's possible you'll get some good alerts that way. Or if there's just a particular topic you're really interested in, like music or something like that, or a particular band that you want to share more of, or a sports team, this would be a good way to make sure that you're seeing the freshest content that's coming across Google. So setting up a Twitter list is a good thing to do while working on your social NN shifts. There's no minimum requirement for how often you're posting on Twitter. I think you should use some of your time to do things like this, to organize lists for us on the social NN account. Here's a good list created by a former student, Alex Vickery, of things all related to UT. So it's people, it's news organizations, it's official accounts, that kind of thing. So if you are having this list in your TweetDeck, that's what this is a column in TweetDeck, you could have really great sources of information right there to either retweet or craft your own tweet from. Tumblr's dashboard works much like a Twitter following, and so you can search and follow great content right there in the dashboard. You could also click on Find Blogs to find blogs by topic. There's more on this in the Tumblr demo on Canvas. On Facebook, we should like a variety of news sources, and so from Social NN's page, you could change to be Social NN on other people's pages and like their pages there, and create actually a news stream for Social NN of pages that we like or that we want to get news from. See the Facebook demo for how to do that. In the meantime, on your personal account, you should also be liking several news organizations. At least I strongly suggest it, so you can see good information coming across from such places as the New York Times or the Daily Texan. And Pinterest isn't just a place to pin your recipes, it's also a place to see other people's pins of recipes and other things as well. So follow other newsy and interesting boards. And a lot of the big news organizations, including NBC News and CNN, have Pinterest boards. And so follow them and get some good ideas and information from those, and then repin their stuff. And I want to put a shout out for Reddit. Now, there's a lot of junk on Reddit. There's a lot of goofy things on Reddit. There's inappropriate things on Reddit. However, there's also lots of news there, especially things that show up before they show up on other platforms. It's a very dedicated group of people on Reddit looking for interesting stories and sharing them, all for that sweet fake karma point. So definitely look through Reddit. There's a subreddit for Austin itself. There's a subreddit for UT Austin. They're definitely a good source for finding out what's going on in the community. I once interviewed a reporter at KUT for a podcast that I was doing for another class, and he revealed that he uses the Austin subreddit a lot to get information that he could follow up on for his reports. So I strongly suggest this is an interesting place to find good content for any of our platforms as well. And there's tons of other good news aggregators out there. This is Flipboard. If you've never used Flipboard before, you should give it a try. But it's a great place to get ideas for stories that we could be sharing on Social NN, or that you could be sharing in the future when you're the big social media editor at a news organization. And you should just be a news consumer. If you are not taking in a lot of news, if you're not listening to the news on the radio, watching it on TV, reading newspapers, reading magazines, following news accounts on Twitter, you are not getting the full experience as a citizen of this country. And if you're a journalism major, as a future journalist, or if you think you're going to go into journalism, I think it's really important that you be this avid consumer of news, and your job will be so much easier in this class because you'll know what's going on. You'll have ideas as you're listening to the news about things you want to share when you get your chance. And so it's just a good way to operate in life, but also for this class. And that's it. So go ahead and take the quiz, and I'll still be here when you come back for the next lesson.